Right, 20 November 2024, and today I've got a special evening session. I'm joined by President General Rwende. How are you, President?
I am super well, Gambako, and you. How are you?
Fantastic, and I would like to appreciate you for joining me on such a short notice. We have seen today what has happened in Harare, which is the strange situation where only 3 presidents have arrived in Zimbabwe, and the SADC Extraordinary Summit is currently right now underway and is failing to make a decision. Can you tell us, President, what is happening right now in Harare?
Thank you, Gambako, for the opportunity, and I would love to thank the Zimbabweans who gave us this opportunity to be here, also those who are going to listen, and the whole of Africa. We can't talk about what is happening now without going back to the situation that brought us here today. If we look at it closer, let's put it on a microscope. The political tectonic plates are shifting, especially in the southern region. They've been shifting in the eastern region, but now they're shifting in the southern region. And the southern region, it's a significant economic player within the whole world. South Africa is one of the economic contributors of the world, if you look at it. If we combine the southern region, it becomes a giant that contributes to the world economy. And Mozambique plays a significant part in import and export. For every Zimbabwean to survive as we speak, they rely on Maputo, Beira, and Tete. They rely on Mozambique. And at the same time, for everyone to hold an iPhone, you need to know that an iPhone contains cobalt. And Mozambique has the largest deposits of cobalt as much as DRC Congo. So now Mozambique, it is a tight spot whereby everyone is looking at Mozambique, which brought us to this chaos. The elections that happened, the previous election, the recent elections in Mozambique, actually they were married with a lot of irregularities, whereby there are allegations of Zimbabweans voting in Mozambique. So now SADC comes in as a player who's trying to work to stabilize the region. But now, who is the head of SADC? It's Emmerson Mnangagwa. And Emmerson Mnangagwa's elections are married with irregularities. So who now can we have at hand? Who wants to associate themselves with a series of irregularities in elections, the brutality that they use, the brutality strategy they use in elections? The Mozambican elections, a lot of people have died. May their soul rest in peace. In Zimbabwe, yes, they claim that the elections were free and people did not die. But if we look at it, it's a different story on the ground. So now, that brings us to the summit today. It is not a surprise that most of the people, they want to distance themselves from the summit because SADC has become a toothless dog than the SADC that we know. The purpose of SADC was to bring peace and stability within the region. But now, SADC has caused more harm than good. So how do we trust an organization that have people that when they preach their gospel, they're talking about a liberation struggle? People who are talking about killing each other for the liberation of people. People who rely on fear, they install fear in people, and they claim that they want to install a stability in the region and they want to install peace in the region. Yet they have failed DRC Congo. It's still unstable in Congo, which brought us to Mozambique. Mozambique, which is a country that had a history of civil war. And Mozambique at this point, it is a brink of a civil war because of the jihadists that are operating in Mozambique. So how can we trust the same people to solve our issues? at the same time, they have failed for years. They failed Zimbabwe, they failed DRC Congo, they failed Mozambique. Who wants to associate themselves with these people? I was at a summit yesterday. It was actually an Oman Independence Day yesterday, which was held in Kuwait. I met a lot of ambassadors there. We discussed this issue. Like, look, guys, how can we stabilize the region and at the same time benefit from the region? The people has to benefit from that region. As we speak, the southern region is the worst region ever, which its people are suffering, and the organization that is supposed to bring that economic freedom, it's not doing the job. We are not surprised that Duma Boko ghosted the summit. He was the first to arrive, but he was the first to ghost the summit. So it's kind of like a mess or a chaos, as you say it. But we hope that there will be a resolution. But I will not actually have a faith in a resolution that will make everyone happy, since SADC it does not make decisions according to their treaty within the Southern African Development Treaty. It actually states that they can only intervene through sitting down with the two parties and just give them ideas. It's up to them to take it or leave it. And they only sit down they don't decide. They put it up for a vote. So if you look at it in the southern region, the liberation movements are the one who has a lot of grip on power. So definitely it will not tip to the people's favor or to the previous Mozambique's elections favor of alleged winner, which is Venancio Mondlane. But we hope that the region become peaceful, regardless of the summit. But according to we say, people, they have to now sit down and say which road are we supposed to take. They have a right to choose the leader, but at the same time, they need to now to balance. Is it worth it to die in a struggle that we won't get results? But I'm very happy that the Mozambicans, they have taken it up to the streets and make their voices heard and say their grievances, even though it is a tragedy that some of them, they have died.
Okay, President, I want to give everyone a view of what is happening currently. So currently, as we speak, there is the final meeting of the heads of states that is taking place at Mount Hampden at Parliament. That meeting has not yet completed or finished. It has not yet given a communique. And the biggest problem that is being faced in that meeting is that the key stakeholders have not arrived. So take, for example, if you look at this picture, you can see that the president of Tanzania is not here. And also, you can see that the president of the DRC is not here. You can also see that the people that are here are not from big countries. These are the small countries, except for the vice president of South Africa. So what people are seeing is basically a group of people that have gathered, but it's not an extraordinary summit. I don't think any important communique is going to come out of here. What is causing this lack of stakeholders, the important stakeholders on this meeting?
Okay, look, Gambagwe, it's a matter of SADC runs in a manner whereby most of the people, they don't understand. You can't actually blame the countries that did not come or that did not attend the summit. It's because they don't want the vote to proceed. SADC depends. It runs like any parliament where 2/3 majority wins. For anything to be a resolution, you need to have 2/3 majority. If you don't have people, you can't proceed with the vote. You need to have more than 2/3 of the Southern African countries in one room. then you can put a motion. So now you don't have those people. That means you can't put a motion to vote. So they're trying to look for a resolution. And if you go to the treaty actually states that if you do not have the more than two-thirds majority of the signatories, you can't proceed with any resolution. That's why you see that they haven't given the communique of what is going on or what's going to happen, or a resolution of what things should look like. So it's not a surprise, because most of the countries, they're distancing themselves from the summit, because what's happening in Mozambique is a shame to the Southern Africa. It's a shame to the one who's leading the Southern African Development Committee. We don't want to subject ourselves to premature judgment. So what I can say is, let's wait. Maybe they will find a resolution, or it is possible that some of them, they might use the technology, they might attend virtually. But even though they will attend virtually, I would want a resolution that will benefit the Mozambican people. I would want a resolution that will sustain the Southern African development countries. Hence, where I come from, we say economic freedom for all, starting from Zimbabwe to the whole of Africa, the giant of Africa, which means we need each other. We need the spirit of Thomas Sankara. We need the spirit of Josiah Magamba Tongogara. We need the spirit of Kwame Nkrumah. We need the spirit of Kenneth Kaunda to arise. That spirit of bringing Africa together to find solution as one people. Since Africa, if you go back, there were no borders. So these guys, they just need to understand that people should come first, not their interest. But everyone is putting their interest in the front. The Mozambican people are at stake here. So these people, they have to have a resolution for the Mozambican people. They are dying every day in search of an answer of what transpired in their elections. They've chosen a leader, and their leader was not given the power.
Right, President, speaking of that, there are rumors that Zimbabwe has deployed soldiers in Mozambique. What do you know about this situation?
Okay, I have received some communique from our guys that are on the ground. They have seen actually troops being deployed in Mozambique. Some of them, they did not use the actual channels that we know. Some of them, they use the channels that are hidden. They have secretly deployed the army to protect the pipeline, number one. Number two, to protect their interest in Mozambique. Number three is to protect their fellow brother, which is Frelimo. Yes, the rumors are true, because I have the communique that states the same thing. But who am I to comment on government affairs or in army affairs? I cannot comment more on army affairs or government affairs. But yes, I have received a communique that says the same thing.
Okay. Do you think Zimbabwe has got a large amount of soldiers in Mozambique right now?
In terms of numbers, I cannot specify the numbers. Hence, I do not have the exact numbers. But yes, they might have a large number in Mozambique to protect their interest. And Zimbabwe has a border with Mozambique, which needs to be protected, because Mozambique actually is a major player in our economic system. So
okay, and do you believe that? Yeah, do you believe that Mnangagwa is also part of the problem? Is he able to chair such a meeting?
Mnangagwa, he is part of the problem, so he can't chair the meeting. Remember, we have elections that did not sit well with the people. I cannot say disputed elections, because they were never reported disputed. But what I can say is there were irregularities married to our elections, which everybody witnessed, even though these irregularities were not reported through right channels. So Mnangagwa is not the right person to chair this meeting, because you can't tell a person kuti usabe iwori mbava. You can't tell another person don't steal kana iwori mbava. As long as you are both thieves, you cannot give each other advice. That does not make sense. At the moment, we need a tribunal that consists of the SADC elders. We don't need the SADC chair. We need a tribunal that can chair this meeting with some certain extent of wisdom to provide with a resolution. Remember, consensus is the most important thing when you are dealing with these issues. So you will need a tribunal with a higher board that is above politics, that is above a personal interest, that is all about the region and the people. So who is more suitable to chair this meeting? It's a tribunal consist of elders, not Emerson Mnangagwa.
Okay, I get you, President, and I do agree with you that this situation is still ongoing. Right now, as we speak, SADC Summit has not yet issued a communique, and they are currently in the meeting. We expect the communique anytime before midnight. So is there anything else you want to say before we close?
What I can say now is, as a people of Africa, as people of the soil, we need now to devise a plan of coming together as one. SADC has become a toothless dog that is saving their own personal gains. A club of gentlemen who does not have people at heart. SADC has failed. So as the people of the Southern Africa, as the people of Africa, we need to come together and devise a way forward for African people to prevail, a way that is going to monetize the resources that we have and benefit the people of the soil, the African people. Look what happened in Burkina Faso. People are benefiting from their own soil. So that's what we need to prioritize. A plan that has people in the middle, an idea that will save the African people. We are laughing stock wherever we go, hence our continent is very rich. Africa is rich, but its people are poor. So we need now to have a plan that puts people in the middle, that is going to enable them to benefit from their own soil. Unity for all and freedom for all. The time of fighting with guns and spilling blood has passed. This is a time of having an idea, a fight for idea, and a betterment for everyone. Democracy is not about the democracy that we have been given by the white monopoly system or the imperial system. We need a democracy that we can carve ourselves and declare this is the democracy that we want, a directed democracy that we put the rules. And if we put the rules, we dictate to who sit there, who does what, as long as it benefits our people. If it does not benefit our people, we don't have to do it. But I stand with the Mozambican people in their struggle, and I stand with the Zimbabwean people. Tese ngatisimukei kuvaka Africa yedu, kuvaka Zimbabwe yedu, kuvaka Mozambique yedu. Some of us, we have the traits of Mozambican blood. I have operated in Mozambique. I have stayed in Mozambique, and I stand with the people of Mozambique. And they have spoken. They want Venancio Mondlane. Let them have Venancio Mondlane. Let the Mozambican government be Mondlane, and the people of Mozambique should continue the fight. A luta continua. Abasha chikonyoka.
Thank you very much, President.
Thank you.
We'll see you again very, very soon.
Thank you.